Today, I want to share with you a little bit about aligning your values with your goals. The reason why this is so important, right? We know that in order for us to be successful and happy and fulfilled, we need to have all three of those things, right? The ultimate success comes when we have both the goals that we want to achieve, as well as the happiness and the fulfillment that comes with that. And values are a great way. When we live our values, we actually feel more happy. We actually feel more fulfillment, and that helps us become more successful. So we want to talk about some of the reasons why this is so important. So let's talk about values real quickly. Values are our deepest level programming, right? When we think about, how kind of our mind works and how we are motivated to do things, a lot of times it's the values that drive us to want to do things. They really drive us how to act. And the other thing that values do, it helps us evaluate the time that we spend. So what that means is that as we do things, if it's aligned with our values, we're going to evaluate that time more positively. If we're doing things that are out of alignment with our values, we're probably going to evaluate that time on a more negatively. And that will affect our motivation and wanting to do those things. So as we all know, this is about aligning values with goals. And in order to achieve a goal, in order to achieve anything really, it takes action. And we can't think our way into achievement of anything. And so we want to make sure that in order to help ourselves hit the goals that we have, we put our values to work for us and not against us, and to really align our values with our goals. And about 3 reasons why this is super important. Number 1 is values help drive motivation. At the end of the day, we're motivated to get the things that we value. And so because values drive motivation, when we are doing things when we are aligning our activities with our values, right? We align the goals that we have with the values that we have. We're actually more motivated to achieve those goals because they align with our values. This works on a programming level, right? If you think about how the mind works, and we learned this from NLP. I'm a student of Dr. Matt James with the Empowerment Partnership company. And what they tell us is that the way our mind works is that we take things in from our 5 senses, and those are filtered through programs. Values are our deepest level program, and that helps us create a mental image, an emotional state, a physiological response, and that all creates an action. And it's the action that helps us actually get the goals that we want. So when we have our values aligned with the goals that we have, the actions that it takes to get those goals, we're more motivated. We actually want to do those things to hit the goals that we have. Second thing is fulfillment, right? When you're doing things that are aligned with your values, you feel more fulfilled. And that's super important because we know that in order to really achieve the ultimate success, fulfillment's got to come with it, right? Otherwise, we're going to burn ourselves out, right? You can do something for some period of time. You can even have success with it. But if it's something that is not aligned with the values, at some point in time, something's got to give, right? And so we can even experience success for a short period of time, but we're going to burn out. Or we can hit a plateau and not want to go above it because it's just too difficult. It just takes too much mental energy and anguish to keep going, right? Because we're not experiencing the fulfillment. When we align our activities with our values, we experience a lot more fulfillment, and that helps us hit the goals that we have. Third thing is purpose. When we live our values, we're closely aligned with the purpose that we have. I want you to consider this. If you can think about all the values that you have in your career, and if you put those on a Venn diagram, right, all those circles that interconnect, I'll be willing to bet that at the very core and the very center of that circle is a purpose, or is your purpose. Now, some of you are watching this and you know your purpose. You've got a big why, right? You know why you wake up every day, go into the office, or go do the thing that you want to do. You understand exactly why. Others of you don't have a big why or a big purpose, and that's okay. Because we all need at least a little purpose. I think about my 6-year-old daughter, and when we want her to do something, or she's motivated to do something, right? She's on purpose. We recently installed a garden in our house, and one of the things that she does is her and her mom go out and tend to the garden every day. And that gives her purpose, right? Now, is that a big why for a 6-year-old? Probably not. Yet, knowing that it's one of her jobs to go in and make sure that the garden is looking good, to tend to the garden, pick the vegetables that are coming out, right? She feels purpose around that, and she's actually motivated to get up every morning and go check on the garden. Right. And if it works for a 6-year-old, it can probably work for us too. Right. We want to find our purpose. And if we look at all the values that we have, kind of the core where all of our values overlap, is probably a good indication of where our purpose is. And when we live on purpose, again, we experience more fulfillment, more happiness, and that leads to more success. So those are the 3 big things why aligning values with our goals is super important. It helps motivate us, it helps give us fulfillment, and it allows us to live the purpose that we have. So I hope this was helpful today. If you have questions, please feel free to put it in the comments, and we'll be more than happy to get those answered. If you want to go deeper and you want to get into the how to actually align the values with the goals that we have, we're going to put that in a blog post that we're going to share with you over the weekend. And so if you're subscribed to that, check out that email. And if not, then go to our website. You can go in there and you can actually subscribe to the email that we have, and you can get that when we publish the how behind that. And then 2, if you want to go deeper into this, if this kind of resonated with you and you think, gosh, I really know that if I can align the goals, the values that I have with the goals that I want, it'll help get me there faster and more efficiently and effectively, feel free to reach out. On our website, you can go to xperiencegrowth.com and you can check out more of our coaching and consulting programs and schedule a free 30-minute coaching consultation with me. So feel free to do that if this speaks to you and you want more of this in your life. Well, guys, if you've been hanging out with me for the last 7 or so minutes, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week.